So with the Blue Jays, the core of our mental performance program, something we talk about a lot, is that it's not a skill unless it holds up under pressure. So when we're talking about these in-game mental performance tasks and how we play the game one pitch at a time, we're talking about developing skills, and the only way this matters is if it holds up under pressure. With that being said, we describe mentally tough athletes as people that skillfully manage attention and emotion under pressure in any circumstance. So that kind of gives you the backdrop as we're looking to build our system of playing the game one pitch at a time. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a system where athletes can intentionally have a process in our language to manage their attention and emotion under pressure in any circumstance. So our process and what we've come up with and continue to evolve is called Win the 15. So Win the 15 is our intentional process between pitches that gives us the best chance to perform at a high level. It takes us from thinking to competing. If our process is consistent, then our performance is going to have the best chance at being consistent. We talk about winning the 15 because in the big leagues, there's an average about 15 seconds between pitches. This is the time that you have to let go of the last pitch, figure out what happened, get present, have a plan, dial in, and as we say, full send. You've got 15 seconds every pitch to be fully committed to what you're trying to do, to put yourself in the best place to perform at a high level. We talk about winning the 15 as having these 4 steps, and we'll kind of go into them in a little greater detail here following this. But the basis is this. It starts with being present. We need to be here in that moment, know where we are, what we're trying to do. Number 2 is have a plan. If we don't have a plan, it's going to be really tough to know what we're trying to accomplish on this pitch. Number 3 is dial in. Dialing in is about visually connecting to the ball or the target, being focused on the right things at the right time for that pitch. And step 4 is going full send. This is trusting it. This is competing. We've gone from thinking about what we're doing to competing. We go from thinking to reacting. And the way we think about it, if we're present, if we have a plan, if we're dialed in and focused, and if we're fully committed, we're giving ourselves a pretty good chance to perform. I want you to think quickly back to that intro and what we talked about. The first time that I was strolling up to the plate in junior college, I wasn't really present. I was worried about what might happen, what the coaches were going to think, what the other players were going to think, and I was anywhere but in the batter's box. My plan was to try and get a base hit. As we'll discuss in a little moment, that's an outcome. That's not a plan. I was focused anywhere but on the baseball. And as we know, when you're not seeing the ball real well, it's a pretty tough to hit. And doing all those things wrong made it tough to commit and do the things I wanted to do. Converse that with the last AB, I was fully present. I had a plan. I was locked in on exactly what I wanted to try and focus and do, and I was fully committed to it. The thing I want to highlight, though, is at that time that I was finishing up my playing career, I didn't have this. I didn't have a process for playing the game one pitch at a time. This was simply all the lessons I'd learned over my career from different coaches and different players and things like that from my own experiences. And they taught me that I needed to do these things. So again, the game kind of teaches us these things. But as you are developing this with players or developing this as a coach and what you want your guys to have this framework, I think it's really, really helpful because we don't all get 2,000 at bats to be able to figure these different things out. Sometimes we have to figure out a little quicker. You know, you've got one season with a group of guys to do everything they can in that moment. And the better that group can play one pitch at a time, the better your chances are of having success.